I'm just here for emotional support, really. And this is my spot, so you're welcome. What do you think? Alright, boys. We're here. Mule deer hunt. Early season, junior high. It's October 23rd. Not quite. The youth season just ended. And, so. I forgot it's only 2 days. Yeah, and, so we're just gonna come up here and it's starting to get light a little bit, so we got about 200, 300 yards to go. Hopefully get my first buck on the ground. Yeah. It's got a Weatherby Vanguard 270 here with a Vortex Viper on there. 2 millimeter Vortex. There's your model. So there you go. There's your stuff. And I've got a American 308 youth model, all weather. I'm excited for this, dude. I'm not really a hunter today. I'm a just in case. But let's go do this. Put the deer on the ground and back it out. Quick. Do it. They ran. Alright guys, so it was dark and then someone's like, well, we don't want to cross here until we can see because there might be deer right there. So sit back here and I'm like, pull up my binos. I'm like, that looks like a dark spot. Pull up my binos. Look at it. Deer right there. So there's 2 does, mule deer does, about 208 yards over there. And we're not gonna take those. So illegal. But they just ran off. Pretty dumb does. Right from over there and went over the ridge. So there might have been more, but this is the country that we're in here. It's pretty awesome. So we're gonna get right over there and then put up the spotting scope and hopefully put eyes on a buck. We gotta go quick because it's starting to get light real quick. No buck yet. I refuse to believe that there is not a buck, but it might happen again. Alright, there's the deer right there. Wanna know what I just found out, guys? I forgot to put an SD card in my camera, so but we're just waiting for these deer, see if they spook. But I'm gonna go around, see if there's a buck at all, and if there is, I'm gonna try to kick him up toward Chase here. He's set up and everything. How you feeling? He's a retarded deer. They're 145 yards. But there's one of those does looking at us right there. They are positioned just right up there. They're super dumb. You see them right there, and they're super dumb. But I'm gonna go see if I can kick up a buck in there. I said, they're retarded. So they are like right there, about 90-ish yards. So this could go bad and this could go amazing. There's a buck, but it could go either way. So stay tuned and hopefully there's a buck. Just right there. They're absurdly dumb, which is not a bad thing. That's what happens on opening day. They're about to spook, I think. Starting to think there's not any more deer, which is weird. Groups of two. I don't know if that's very common, but obviously is today. Oh my gosh! We just did it! Holy shnikes! Let's go! Let's go! He's right there. It's a big buck. The other one was huge. Dude, the other one was like 150.
That's just the other deer.
No, it's not. It's that deer.
He's just rolling down.
Yep. Dude, let's go! I was trying to get my phone out. Holy mother of pearl. Holy crap.
Dude,
Opening day, October 23rd. Let's go!
That was a nice buck.
Dude, how'd the shot feel?
Oh, perfect, actually.
Oh.
Got it right on him. Boom.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's like 9:30 right now, not even. We raced over here about a mile.
Me shooting. I mean, you can see me shaking so bad right now.
Show me your hand, like this.
It's most of my legs.
All right. Oh, here's the place where it all went down. So Chase, I'm sorry, couldn't get it on film because we were like racing to get on it, and unfortunately my phone was zipped in a pocket, so I was struggling to get it out. I was like, get it out. Chase shot right after I started videotaping it. He shot it right above that rock right there, and that buck is laying dead right there. It's that white spot right in between those two rocks right there. How do you feel about it? It's his first buck.
Good. Yeah, that was fun. Perfect hunt.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
picture
spooked
perfect.
A little bit, turned around, shot.
Yeah.
Folded him. It was fun.
So, opening day buck. First buck of your life.
Yeah.
It looks like a pretty good first buck for him. So,
Yeah.
I killed my first buck ever right over on the ridge over there. So, you killed your first buck right there. I killed my first buck right over past that ridge over there. So, it's been a great morning.
I'm not disappointed about that big buck spooking. This is good.
Yeah, there was a big buck that was standing on that ridge right there. And I glassed it, and I'm like, holy smokes, that's a big buck. It was probably 150-ish, and it was identical almost to the buck that I shot last year. And we saw the herd spooking right there. So we'll explain the story later, and when we get down there, and it's not going to be very fun getting it up to the road, but after we get it to the road, it's all downhill. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll tell you the rest of the story. All right, so it's about a week later, and this is a story about how he killed his buck, because like I said in the video, my phone was in my pocket, zipped up in a zipper pocket so I wouldn't lose it, and I was trying to help him. I was like, oh, is it a buck, is it a buck?
Yeah, I spotted his buck right away.
But I needed to make sure, and I was like, yeah, it's a buck,
We'll
it's a
get to
buck.
that in the story.
Yeah. So, so we arrived at like 5:30ish a.m. and we started walking up the road, and we shoot up to the different road because, you know, it cuts off like a half mile. It goes around and out of our way a half mile at least. So we just cut up to the next road. It's pretty steep. And as I bench out to get on the road, there's a doe in the middle of the road, and she spooks, but it's pitch black.
Way before shooting light.
So we keep on walking. We get around that bend, and we're filming a little bit and talking. And so we keep walking, and we almost get to the point where we're going to sit in glass for the morning. And I glass, and I'm like, wait, that looks like a deer, but it's looking off in a different direction.
Yeah, we wanted to wait.
It wasn't moving. So I was like, I can't tell, but it looks exactly like a deer. So I take out my spotting scope, Leupold gold ring, 15 to 30. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, it's a deer. Like, immediately I'm like, yeah, it's a deer. I mean, it's no question. And they're looking down below us. I'm like, well, there might be deer below us. So Chase gets around in the chamber, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go check real quick because he doesn't have bino harnesses. But, so there's nothing there. So, those spooked, and we rounded the corner, sat down, and glassed. And we were glassing. In this basin, I've killed my first buck in this same basin. And, it was an amazing night. We saw 23 deer and only 2 bucks, though. That was on Halloween night. And, 2 days it's Halloween, so if it would have been the same year in 2 days, I would have.
We're filming this a week after I shot it, about
a little bit.
8 days after I shot it.
And so we sit down in glass, and I have my spotting scope. He's got his binos. He did have binos, he just doesn't have a bino harness. I was glass, and I was like, you know what, Chase? There's no way there's not a single deer in all this expanse. And I was like, Chase, they're in one of these draws that we just can't see. So
at first, he spots an elk bedded down.
But I don't realize
it's weird shaped, like the way it's bedded down, his nose looks weird and stuff. So he's not sure if it's an elk or not, but continue now.
So I was looking over here to see the elk, no deer over there. I was like, you know what, Chase? They're in a draw, we can't see them. They've got to be
on
the
same hillside.
On the same hillside as us. And I'm like, they've got to be tucked behind the mountain right there. Or they're just not here, and they're back behind. And I was like, there's no way that there was 2 does right there where everyone can see them, and there's not behind this in this basin. And I was like, you know, Chase, sure enough, take my eye out of the spotting scope and looking around. I'm like, wait, 2 does are looking at us.
About 145 yards.
And they're absolutely stupid. They're looking at us, and we're moving around and everything. So basically, the game-changing decision is, so I took my gun, just in case he shot and I needed to take down the said buck.
Yeah, if I shoot bad.
But it was, I wrapped around on the road, and I got like 70 yards from these does, and I was like, okay, oh boy. And so I was walking up, and they spooked. So I was like, right when they spook, I'm going to run up this mountain, and I'm just going to see if there's any more deer. So I'm creeping, I stop, and then they just start walking off, and then they trot a little bit, and I'm like, okay. So I run, and I get on top, and I can't see anything. So I go back down on the road, I wrap around
and by the time he gets down the road, I can see him from the glassing point, because the road's like down here. He's coming in this way, road's right there.
So on the hillside in the video, it's just below the 2 deer that I'm like pointing at and everything. So I get down on the road, and I can see mule deer, like 10 of them, shuffling across the hillside. I'm like, yes, there's some deer here. And so he can't see me when I spot the deer, and so I get to where I can see, and I'm like, swinging my arm, I'm like, and he has his bipod fully extended, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna come. So he runs.
With the bipod extended, and I forget my rangefinder.
Nothing else, no rangefinder, no nothing, but you wouldn't have had time to rangefind it anyways. Yeah. And I was like, dude, there's a road that runs right there. If we can get on that road and sprint, then we can cut them off. And I knew we could cut them off.
Running,
it's
tough.
And so we circled back around down on the road. And I was like huffing and puffing. And I'm like, Chase, stop. You got to start looking now. And I'm not glassing at all.
No, we're not glassing. We're just looking around. Actually, we're still running. And
We're just
on
kind of
top
like
of this
speed walking.
on top of, in between the draws, a high point, there's a
Dark spot.
There's a dark spot, and I'm like, that's a deer. I think it's a buck. So I get kind of set up, kind of not. I'm looking through the scope. I can't tell. There's a tree right behind it. I can't tell the antlers.
I'm glassing like this,
Right,
and
looks-
I'm shaking really bad because I mean I'm shot with adrenaline and everything, and I was like, okay, they've got to be down here somewhere, and I was like, okay, it's a buck, but I there was a tree behind it, so I was kind of skeptical. So I was like, Chase, let me see your rifle. So and I couldn't tell still. I'm like,
trying to look
Chase,
to see if it's
I gotta get him. I gotta get prone. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, it's a deer. I can't tell. And all of a sudden, he just goes, zoo, zoo. And it's a massive buck. It's like 155, and that's not common for this area. And he just goes, zoo, zoo, and starts trotting off. And I'm like, Chase, go, go, go.
Yeah,
we gotta
back
go
into the
shoot. We
draw.
gotta go shoot. So
Run up the road again.
we run up the road again, and then all of a sudden these mule deer spook basically right where I saw them,
right below us.
right below us, and right where I had seen them when I had gone down on the road.
And you're saying no bucks, and
I'm
I
like,
spot a buck.
I'm like, no bucks, no bucks, no bucks. And he's like, buck, buck, buck. So
I get down.
yeah,
we both
and I'm
get down.
blasting. I'm like, yeah, it's a buck. So I immediately reach for my phone. I'm like, come on, come on, come on, come on.
And then
I'm
he's
trying
like,
to get out.
shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. And I was like, I'm going to. And he goes, meh, boom.
And just
what was funny
the
was
buck went like this. So he was standing on the hill, not quite skyline, but almost skyline. And the buck goes like this. He like folds in half and starts crumbling.
yeah, I destroyed its shoulder blade. I'm looking through the scope and I'm like, yeah, this is a buck. And I see it turn sideways, and the antlers line up. So I think it looks like a whitetail because it's like looks kind of like a whitetail rat because it's got 3 points.
Which wouldn't matter.
Yeah, and they were lined up. So I was like, this is a big buck, and I shot it, and it ended up being pretty nice.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a really good first
really
buck.
good buck, and yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah.
And I realize now that if I brought my rangefinder, I probably would have got caught up in trying to range it. Probably wouldn't have got time to shot that buck.
To be honest, I knew we wouldn't need it anyways because,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really going to be shooting quick more than 300 yards, and 300 yards doesn't matter for a 270 like that. So, I mean, it's fast bullet, kind of pretty flat shooting,
Yeah.
and so, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another video.